Hey, what's up, guys? Appreciate all the feedback on the weekly tips I've been sending. Gotten a lot of great feedback from people. Enjoying the tips. Got a lot of great suggestions from people, and that's the reason that I do this. Right? Is to try and continue to help when it's in the golf season, and continue to get ideas from you guys on what you want to hear, what you need to continue to work on. One of the things that I've been getting a lot from coaches, professional players, and everyday golfers, 90 shooters, is that a lot of players are struggling controlling distances with wedges, right? And in particular, right, 100 yards and in, those sort of in-between numbers, a lot of golfers are really struggling with controlling the distance. I've gotten a number of questions on what I think about the clock system. And the clock system, if you don't know what it is, it's just if you drew a circle around me and we make it a clock, if I take my hands back to 9 and swing them through to 3, classic drill I give a lot of people, the ball goes X distance with my 56-degree wedge. My thoughts on the clock system is, if it works for somebody, I absolutely would encourage you to use it. I personally have never been a fan of the clock system because I can swing my hands 9 to 3 and hit it 15 yards, or I can swing my hands 9 to 3 and hit it 80 yards, right? And the thing that we're trying to do is we're trying to control the distance when we're under pressure, right? When we're playing in a tournament or we're on the 17th hole and we've got a couple holes left to shoot our best score, under the gun, we need to be able to control the distance of the golf ball. And to me, that becomes much more a feel-based swing than a systematic-based swing, in my opinion, right? So the way that we understand what the feel needs to be for a 40-yard shot, a 70-yard shot, an 80-yard shot is we got to practice it, right? And what I see when players go to driving ranges is they don't know how far the ball's going. When they might be practicing hitting their wedges, and they might be flighting their wedges and doing a great job with that, but they have no clue how far it's actually going. Let's face it, most ranges that we go to, and I have access to some really nice ones, they don't do a great job at this part, right? There's not a whole lot of targets 20, 30, 40, 50, 60 yards. Like, they start at 100 yards, right? So we, as the player, have the responsibility, if we want to get good at this part of the game, is we have to have targets that we know exactly how far they are, and we're hitting shots to those targets. Now we're gaining a feel for how far it is, or what I got to do to make it go 40 yards, what I have to do to make it go 70 yards, right? That's the only way we're going to do it. So it's either we take a towel, we take some cones, something very specific, and we walk it out there, we pace it off to those distances, and we practice it, or we practice it with TrackMan, right? Obviously, kind of difficult for most people to do outside at a range. I've had the luxury over the last 8 years to have a radar. Before TrackMan, I had my flight scope. And I will tell you that I've not hit a golf shot today. I don't really hit a whole lot of golf shots anymore. But I know that I am going to be pretty good at controlling distances whenever I do, because I've been able to train it. I know what those yardage, I know what those numbers feel like, and I can do that without a whole lot of practice, right? I had a buddy from Texas, just as an idea for you guys, I had a buddy from Texas send me a picture. He bought these off of Amazon. They are sideline yardage markers for a football field, 10, 20, 30, 40, and they're just inflatable. You blow them up. They're kind of small. And he put them out on the range so he could hit shots to it. I just thought that was genius. I didn't look him up to see how much they were. Amazon blow-up little yardage markers, I'm going to assume they're probably fairly cheap. I just thought that was an amazing idea. Regardless, we got to do something. A towel, like I said, cones, something, our alignment stick, and we're trying to be within a couple of yards. Let's say 3 yards short, 3 yards long is going to be acceptable distances. So I'm going to hit a shot here. I'm going to start with 50 yards, okay? Again, I've been in here cleaning all day. I'm not hitting a golf shot. I'm just going to start 50. Ball speed 49.8, total 52. So that's within our 3 yard parameter. First shot out of the gate, acceptable. Okay, I'm going to go 70. Ball speed 60. 66.8. I felt that might be a little short, 0.2 yards short. I'm going to go 40. Ball speed 43. Total 42.7 within my parameter. You know, at the end of the day, I can sit here and hit shots, and I'm going to be very, very close, time in, time out. I'm going to be a little short sometimes, a little long sometimes, but what I will see from most golfers is they're way short or way long, right? And now when they've had an opportunity for a green and regulation, now they're hopefully chipping back on, or maybe in a really bad situation that's causing them to have a bogey, double bogey from the middle of the fairway. And those are what adds scores up, and those are what frustrate us, right? So moral of the story, we got to train it. And we can't train it simply by just hitting balls. We have to train it by hitting balls to specific targets at specific distances, so we can gain a feel for what those distances feel like with each of my clubs. And this is my 56. I can grab my 52. I can grab my 60. I can do the same thing based on loft, launch angle, height, all the stuff, because I've trained it. That's my take. As I said earlier, if you maybe can combine training that with the clock system, once again, I'm all for it. But just thinking that the clock system by itself is going to make you control your distances better is just not how it's going to work. You've got to practice it to specific targets at specific distances, and there's zero doubt in my mind when you do, you're going to become a better wedge player. So again, I hope this helps. If you have any questions, comments, if there's anything that you want to see, let me know, and I'll see you next time.